Jarrod Bowen is back in training yesterday, but what it does mean is he's likely to feature this evening. Whether it's from the start or not, we'll have to wait and see. But I think David Moyes has to gamble. There's an argument that it's better to risk Jarrod Bowen in tonight's game rather than keep him for Sunday against Crystal Palace because of Man City and Arsenal going out of the Champions League. It is unlikely to have European football this season. So the circumstances since 24 hours ago have drastically changed in regards to the Premier League table. So I think tonight is the night we have to risk Jarrod Bowen and go for it. We have to go for it. And it's exactly what I needed, this news, seeing Bowen back in training, because I've not really been looking forward to this game as much as I thought I would. I've been a bit grumpy this week. And it's not necessarily because we got beat by Leverkusen last week. I think it's the manner of it. In fact, it was a 2-goal defeat rather than a 1. I'd have been okay with a 1. I would have believed we could turn that round. A 2 just seems a little bit far-fetched. Now, logically, it still is far-fetched. In my head saying, no, you're not doing this. Do not get your hopes up. But there's something in there that says, we can do this. And I like that. I think it's important to have that, because if you don't have that as a fan, then what have you got? If you don't have hope, if you don't have dreams, it's important to have those things. Like I said, logically you can think there's no chance, but that's okay, that's acceptable and likely. But I think it's important just to have a 1% bit of you that goes, hey, you just never know, do you? And I'm looking forward to tonight's game now. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily the fact that we got beat, it was the manner of it, but it's especially the Fulham game. That's what's just completely knocked the stuffing out of me on Sunday. In a weird way, I think Arsenal and Man City going out in the England coefficient now being unlikely to get a 5th Champions League spot. While it's bad news for West Ham, because if we finish 8th, we probably won't get European football. I think what it has done is almost take the pressure off our Premier League campaign to some extent, which is, well, it wouldn't have got European football anyway. So it's everything in tonight, and that's why I think Moyes is better off risking Jarrod Bowen tonight than it is. And it throws him a bit of a curveball, because yesterday Phillips returned to training, Areola returned to training. Now I don't think either will start, but I'd rather have Alphonse Areola on the bench than not have him on the bench. And I'd rather have Areola on the bench. I'm joking. The more players available, the better at this point, especially with Emerson and Paqueta suspended. But I do wonder if Mavropanos was available, if Moyes would be tempted to go again with the formation that we seen last week, just bringing Jarrod Bowen in for Lucas Paqueta and bringing Ben Johnson in for Emerson. Alvarez would come into midfield for one of the pair in there as well. But sticking with Mavropanos, Zouma and Creswell at the back and trying to keep it tight and try and get to the hour mark with 0-0 and then go for it in the last half hour and trying to grab a couple of goals. A risky strategy, but it's one we've seen him employ numerous times. But with Mavropanos out, it sort of forces his hand a bit and says, well, you can't do 3 at the back. Well, you can, but it's going to be Zouma, Gerd and Creswell. Do you want to do that? I don't think he will. So I think it forces him to go forward at the back. It forces him to have Bowen, Kudus and Antonio up front. He'll play that midfield 3 of Ward-Prowse, Alvarez and Souček. I'm quite confident that's going to be our front 6 tonight. It's just that how does the back 4 line up? And it's likely going to be Soufal, Zouma, Gerd, probably Johnson, maybe Creswell. I'd worry with Creswell as an actual left back, but I can see why he would go for the experience. Maybe he'll pull Ogbonna in, play him next to Zouma for this one. But the suspension and now the injury to Mavropanos certainly forces David Moyes' hands, but also the return of Jarrod Bowen has really perked me up a little bit, because if we can get the first goal tonight, if we can get that first goal, that place will be buzzing before kick-off. That bubbles will be loud and proud. I've got no doubt about it whatsoever, because there's a huge difference between thinking we're going to struggle, thinking we're going to lose. That's one thing, but your support doesn't reflect your prediction. It just doesn't. The amount of times I've gone to a game thinking we're going to lose this, but I don't sit there and go, right, well, I'm not going to bother now because we're going to lose. I get up on my feet, I sing bubbles as loud as I would in a game I think we're going to win. The place will be rocking before kick-off, because even if the fans tonight don't think we're going to do it, it doesn't mean they're not going to try and drag the team through it. And Rob O'Keefe, our patron and a friend of Hammer's Chat this morning, put in highlights to us beating Sevilla with that Yarmolenko winner in extra time. If I just needed one more thing just to get me up for tonight's game, Rob O'Keefe delivered it in spades this morning. But if we can get the first goal tonight, regardless of the minute, the first minute, the 10th minute, the 85th minute, that place will be absolutely bouncing. It will be really good. And that will pick the players up and drag them through that game as well. That pain barrier that Bowen will have will just disappear just like that. The adrenaline will take him over the line. He will be okay tonight. And like I said, because of the way the league's changed, the circumstances have changed over the last 24 hours, and with them two clubs going out of European football last night, that it's sort of all eggs in one basket. I mean, saying that, listen, if we go out tonight and beat Crystal Palace, suddenly, hello, maybe we could go on and get 7 because we still play Chelsea. But I'll think about that tomorrow. Today, my mind is purely occupied by tonight's game. And I've just got this little smidgen that says, we can do this. We can do this. Are we good enough? Well, nobody else has been, but we've beaten Arsenal this season. We've beaten Arsenal. And they are, I know they got beat by Bayern Munich and stuff, but they are a damn good side. We have shown that we're capable, especially at the London Stadium. I do think when we play away to these sides, whether it be Liverpool, Man City, there's a white flag about us. There's no doubt about it. We turn up and go, no thank you. We're just going to defend and try and get 0-0. But at the London Stadium, it's different. We do take the game responsibly. We do take the game to these teams. We do try and win the games at home. And being 2-0 down forces David Moyes' hand again. It says you can't afford to sit tight. I hope he doesn't. I'm a bit worried that he will just try and keep it tight, because I think Leverkusen will break through that. But when I spoke to Frankie, the Leverkusen fan, he offered me a bit of hope, which is we start slowly in games. There's been 2 games that I recall watching this season involving Leverkusen where they've struggled. Only 2. There's only 2 games. I haven't watched them all, though. Gladbach and Stuttgart. They ended up drawing both games. And Gladbach, I think, was 0-0. Stuttgart was 1-1 or 2-2. There was goals in that game, but finished a draw. But they both took completely different approaches. Gladbach was Moyes ball, low block, what are you going to do? Whereas Stuttgart was a bit more like, we're going to come at you. We've got our game plan and we're going to attack you. And it was a very even game. And Stuttgart could have just won it just as much as Leverkusen could have won it, that match. And tonight, yeah, I'm a little bit excited. And this is the unpopular thing. I think I'm going to get a bit of stick for this, but I'm going to say it. I think Paqueta being suspended could be a blessing. Not Emerson. We're going to miss Emerson. Emerson's a massive miss. I'm disappointed because a bit like Frankfurt 2 years ago, I never felt we had a fair crack at it because we conceded a goal in 90 seconds at home, and away from home, Creswell gets sent off. We never felt like we got a go of that semi-final because there was 2 major events that just disrupted the game plan. And last week it was difficult. No Alvarez, no Jarrod Bowen. I would argue they are our 2 most important players. Maybe not our best players, but our most important players. And I know statistically we don't win without Lucas Paqueta, so statistics would suggest Paqueta is our most important player. But I've always felt it was Jarrod Bowen. Even last season when Declan Rice was here, I've always felt Rice was the best player, but Bowen was the most important player. And it's the same this season. I think ability, Paqueta's the best player, but importance to the team, I think it's Jarrod Bowen. When he don't play, I don't think we've got a chance of scoring, or it decreases drastically. And Alvarez in midfield, we miss him when he's not there. So with them 2 back tonight, and yes, we're missing Paqueta, and yes, I'd rather have him available, of course I would. But if you were to say tonight, you're playing Leverkusen, which 3 of your 4 attacking players would you want? It would be Kudus, Bowen and Antonio for me. Of course, we need beast mode Antonio to turn up, but it would probably be Bowen and Kudus. Like I said, that would probably be unpopular, and I appreciate I'm going to get a little bit of stick. And listen, it doesn't mean I don't like Paqueta. I love Paqueta. I would play him on Sunday, regardless of what happens tonight. He plays on Sunday against Crystal Palace. But for tonight, because I think we're going to be playing counter-attacking football, I think those 3 are the 3 I'd like at the front of the team anyway. Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left, Antonio through the middle. And I'd like it if we could find a way of accommodating it so that we can go narrow in attack, so it's 3-on-3, man for man, because we know Leverkusen will play 3 at the back, so we can just go man for man while we're attacking. We've seen Antonio get the better of Jonathan Tah last week. I've just got a bit of hope. Like I said, let's wrap this up. Logically, I can't provide much evidence to say this is why West Ham are going to do it. Logically, they're unbeaten for a reason. But there's a lot of pressure on you to keep that record going. That's why when they won the Bundesliga title, That's why I said to Frankie, Leverkusen fan, but you can't just lose on Sunday. But you can't, when you play Dortmund, you can't just go, well, we won the title, we'll focus on you. You've got this record now. You've still got something, even though you've won the league, you've actually still got something to play for. There's still pressure there. And surely a manager in his first full season at a senior club doesn't go unbeaten completely. It would be incredible. I think tonight, I think they equal the record, maybe even beat the record for a team in the top 5 leagues to go unbeaten in all competitions. Obviously, the Invincibles, Arsenal did it in the league, 49 games, but they lost in the cup in between those games. So they didn't go 49 games unbeaten full stop. It was in the league only. Leverkusen, every game full stop, unbeaten. I think they equal or beat the record tonight should they not lose this one in 90 minutes. Well, we've got a habit of doing stuff like this, haven't we? I just hope it's not 1-0. I hope we don't beat the record. We stop them. We're the only team to beat them this season, but we still go out. That would be a very West Ham thing to do. But anyway, I'm getting my hopes up for tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of them. I've loved the last 3 years of European football. All the pressure's on them. Head is expecting to go out. But if we win, what a fantastic story this would be. That would be incredible. It would be possibly the best thing to happen to us since, obviously, we won the trophy. Bar that, since moving to the London Stadium tonight would be by far the best game in my opinion. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, Head says no chance. Heart says 1% chance. I'll take it. Bowen back is huge for us. That's got me buzzing. It's got me excited. Anyway, if you're going to the game tonight, enjoy it. I'm going to put the link to the boats and the beer hall in the description below. Tickets are free for both. If you're going to the boats though, take a couple of quid. There's a cash bucket at the entrance and all the money goes to charity. And the beer hall tickets are also free. You need to get a ticket for either event though, because both will be at full capacity tonight. Expected, big crowds, people are getting excited, they want to have a couple of drinks. So the tickets will be in the description of this video in the pinned comments if you're going to enjoy it. If not, I'll be live at 6:55 on YouTube. I can't go tonight, unfortunately. I'm a bit gutted. Had my tickets, but I had to give them to a patron in a little giveaway, so I can't attend tonight. So I'll be live at 6:55 if any of you are at home. Please join me at 6:55, get in the mood for the game together, and then Charlie will be doing a watch along as always. But right, 6:55, see you then. If you're going to the game, tickets below. Come on, West Ham. Come on, Moyes. Come on, Bowen. Come on. This is it. You know, go out in a blaze of glory. Do not go out with a whimper. Do not go out there and try and defend and just go out with a disappointing evening. Give yourself a chance. Get that first goal tonight. Doesn't matter what minute. I think the perfect scenario would be to go in 1-0 at half-time. Not 2-0, because we'll come out and defend. 1-0. Go in 1-0 up at half-time. The boys will be buzzing in that change room. They'll be almost foaming at the mouth to get out for the second half. Everybody will go for their piss and a pint at half-time and come back buzzing, ready. That chorus of bubbles before kick-off the second half will be loud as you've ever heard it. Hope will turn to belief. We can get that first goal tonight. It's game on. It's tie on. Let's go. Likewise, Leverkusen get it. It's tie over. Jarrod Bowen's giving me hope. I'll catch you in a bit.